crore segment. This is a snapshot of our journey so far. In 2006, Genesys was born. Along the way, we have developed scalability, added new services. In future, we plan to enter water and wastewater segment by tying up with a foreign firm, acquire 1 or 2 architectural firms, tie up with some construction companies to become turnkey construction solutions provider in 2017. In last 6 years, we have grown at a very healthy rate of 10 times. In future, we want to better this. We want to grow at an exciting rate of 18 times. We want to do this by improving our efficiency in operations, by acquiring some architectural firms and adding construction services to the portfolio. As you can see, construction industry is extremely large, and that is not the limiting factor for our growth plans. In large segment, there are some well-established turnkey construction providers. Example is L&T. But in medium segment, the industry is fragmented with many small players, and we want to fill this gap. We are a team of 100 people, and each division is led by a senior person. Collective leadership experience is around 140 years. This is the plan which will take us from 4 crores to 100 crores. In operations, we will focus on process standardization and new technology adoption. This will help us improve our margins. We will also expand geographically inside and outside India. On people's front, we will define employee value proposition and integrated talent strategy. In business development, we will focus on getting revenues from different sectors. We want to reduce our dependence on residential sectors and want to diversify in commercial and industrial sectors, which are high margin sectors. We have found this out by value mapping exercise. We will build our brand and expand our global footprint. Most of our growth will be funded through internal approvals. We will require external funding in 2015-16 for acquisition. These are the projected financials for next 5 years. Our focus is to improve our margins by process standardization, by employing new technologies, by moving into higher margin segments, and adding construction to the portfolio. We have done exhaustive risk analysis and mitigation strategies are in place. There are some industry level risks, there are some firm level risks. Let us take one example, say recession. We will have diversified construction portfolio. We will also offer property maintenance services for sustained revenues. Also, we will develop new markets outside India. When we entered this TIE Nurture program, we had a dream of becoming a leading turnkey construction solutions provider. And thanks to TIE and mentoring we received, we now know the path to go there. Thank you.
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, you've heard Anirudh's presentation right now. You have volunteers with the question slips with them. Feel free to raise your hands. They'll come and give you the question slip, write a question and hand it back again. We'll collate them together. At the end of 3 presentations, we'll put them together and go through the questions. I think all the presenters so far had made my job pretty simple and easy because they've stuck to the timing that they had allocated for the presentation. I think that's an excellent start and ensures that we run through with the rest of the session on time. With that, I'd like to call across the second mentee that we have today evening. I'd like to invite in Santosh Abraham from QED In Demand. Santosh.
QED In Demand is a spin-off from QED Baton, which is one of the leading lead generation providers from India. And we started off this company 2 years back. At QED, we understand that bad marketing data can lead to low ROIs on marketing. And around 2 years back, when we were solving customer problems related to marketing data, we came across this concept and we started developing a product around it. The core problems that we identified, which resulted because of unorganized marketing data, was lead effectiveness, cost of acquiring leads, and inconsistent spread out of marketing data across the organization. We identified this as an opportunity. A survey done by IBM, further validated by Gartner, represents that CMOs are going to be the decision maker when it comes to marketing technology spends. And we've seen the growth to be 8.7% of marketing of IT budgets as marketing technology spends is growing 40% year over year. The market size stands $1.6 billion today, and is expected to grow to $6.15 billion by 2017. We've been working in this space, providing it as a service for past 10 years, and then we thought to spin off this entity and start it as a product company, and started Lead Enrich, which is a product. It offers enterprise-wide marketing data management through data aggregation, data cleansing, and through a unique marketing data exchange that we have built, which provide our customers best-in-class marketing data sources. Our focus is providing B2B marketing data to our customers when they need it, and keep them marketing ready whenever they want to execute a marketing campaign. The core features include providing full contact data, providing social profiles, interest profiles, and a lead scoring engine which resides on top of customers' marketing data and organizes it and helps them conduct marketing better. Core value proposition of our product is reduced cost of lead acquisition, real-time lead enrichment, wherein we help our customers to enrich their database with filling missing data into the and enriching it further with social profiles. We also help to push targeted contents through the website and through email campaign, and improve the overall lead generation function. We've built an online marketing data place wherein customers can select best-in-class marketing data sources to help build better marketing data. The core differentiators, as opposed to competitors like NetProspects or Data.com, is our marketing data exchange platform, wherein we are not dependent on our own data, but we are aggregating it from multiple sources, and hence are able to provide data related to companies, data related to contacts, and data related to social profiles of the contacts to our customers. In future, we are also planning to add interest graphs, with which our platform would be able to identify real-time leads for our customers. We've also built a confidence scoring engine within the product, which helps us to identify the best source for a particular set of data and push it to our customers. This is the proprietary engine which we see as a value proposition to our investors. And with all this, we are reducing the cost of lead acquisition and improving the quality of leads that our customers generate. Here's a snapshot of our go-to-market strategy. We launched the product in March 2013. The core focus has been IT services and IT-enabled services companies. We're also targeting software companies who have their own software products targeting to the B2B market, and also aim to target B2B-focused companies and marketing service providers. With the launch of the product, we were able to get PO values worth $75,000. We've acquired customers like Infosys, HCL, WNS, Genpact. QED Baton, which is a parent company, is also a paying customer. We maintained an arm's length relationship, and we were able to get good revenues from our parent company, which also helped us to sustain. We've also done a pilot project with technology companies wherein the challenges are much higher, and we've started our pilots with companies like Blue Code, Mobile Iron, and Ziff Davis from the US, where we've seen significant traction around, and now talking about annualized contracts. The target market for 2013-14 is primarily India and US, and these verticals that I mentioned. We are providing data enrichment services as of now, and intend to provide lead scoring and analytics in coming years, and with a larger target market, and expanding to the Europe market as well. There are some projections. I'd like to recap on the previous part wherein I mentioned about the market size, which is $6 billion plus. We're planning to build a company which would reach 50 million plus $70 million by 2017, and for which the growth drivers would essentially be our knowledge base that we will be building, which should be valued, and which would be our IP that we'll create over a period of time. And also, we would be raising some funds. We are in fact seeking funding now to create a product